progress. I know they're the same words, right? They're very close, they're very related, but from growth, you need to progress. There's no better motivation in the world than progress.
You can grow sideways.
You
can grow anywhere.
Do you get that?
You can grow. Once I choose to still grow, man, they still grow.
In light of the Softers, we have decided to do an in-depth interview where we sit down with some of the people who were awarded that night. And with me this afternoon, I have the founder and the award-winning young achiever at the South African Film and Television Awards. Ayanda, thank you very much for sitting down with us this afternoon.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
I want to talk about Actor Spaces. How does it feel to have that title next to your magazine? How does it feel to be the founder of an award-winning magazine?
It's an amazing feeling, hey, Lily. I'm still sort of trying to take it in, you know. It's still so surreal to me, but I'm enjoying every moment that's coming with it. But I think we've put in the hours, you know. I think the team that surrounds me, we put in so much into it. So even when we were told that we are getting this award,
You were shocked.
you know, and beyond shock is like, oh, guys, we've been doing something right. So I think it's just a good nod that we are doing something right, especially the recognition coming from SAFTers, you know. I think the award actually is sponsored by Star Clinical. So I think that combination for us is just too amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And growing up, is this the reality that you saw for yourself? How and when did Actor Spaces come to life?
So I think I've always been a dreamer. You know, I've always...
That's good.
Yeah, I've always thought in pictures.
Yes.
So I won't lie to you, most of the things that are literally happening in my life now, at some point I've
It was a
seen
vision,
them.
yeah.
You know, at some point I've seen them. But when it comes to Actor Spaces, so I started as an actor. You know, I wanted to be an actor. And the passion of the craft, just looking and observing actors work, that just took over me. And I think the gap as well, that our actors are not celebrated enough in South Africa.
Yes.
I think that gap sort of inspired me to say, you know what, we need to create a platform that can literally celebrate actors.
Yes. And actually, you know, when I was backstage at the Softers, when your name was called out for Young Achiever, everyone who was standing around me said, wow, but this guy is so young. I want to find out what was going on in the young mind of Ayanda when he decided to start a business, because I've been told so many times that starting a business is not child's play.
Wow. It was, I mean, the thing is with Actor Spaces, it's a passion-driven business. So it started as passion, you know. We're literally putting our passions together, and the passion was to capture actors as amazing as we can. You know, the collaboration between a brilliant photographer and a brilliant writer, me, myself, as a creative director, we come together and we say we're going to create a concept around this actor. And that's how the journey sort of began. You know, it was a passion-driven journey. But in that passion now, you're sitting now with a business, you know, so things just shift, you know, like, okay, how do I now keep this business or this concept going? Because now this concept needs money. People need to be paid. These shoots that we do, they cost a lot of money. Sometimes shoots, they go over 20,000 in budgets, just one shoot. So now you start to think like a business person. You know, you start to think like an entrepreneur. And I think that's now where the spirit comes of entrepreneurship, if I must call it. So I think that gives now Actor Spaces to be called a business. So one is just working now to like really find a way to commercialize the space, but yet keep it authentic, keep it still true to the art form that it is, you know, because sometimes we commercialize things and then they become bubble gum, and then you throw in all sorts of sponsors onto your brand that can literally damage your brand. And that's why I'm so grateful that this award is sponsored by Star Clinical, because we aligned with them. You know, they're about capturing stories, they're about exhibiting stories more than anything, and we're about that as well. We want to just exhibit storytelling. Actor Spaces is not funded by anyone, but not by a company, not by an organization, not by government, nothing. It's self-funded by the people that work for Actor Spaces. So funding for me, it's a different topic altogether. But we need funding. We need funding. We need to make funding accessible to young people who want to start beautiful ideas. But it's important as well, when we give that funding, we train people how to manage those funds, because that's a big problem. You give me 20 million, I go mad. I go mad. I buy a car, but the project that was supposed to be funded by the business suffers. So those dynamics as well when it comes to funding. But funding is important, essentially. We need funding to grow. Because black people out there, black young people have brilliant ideas. I speak to young people on a daily basis, and the ideas they have are amazing. But the key is funding will sort of catch on.
Yes.
I think after this award, probably we're getting calls already, like
Is it? That's
around the
amazing.
country and whatever. People are like, how can we help development, this and this and this. So let funding find you while you're working.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tapping into the fact that Actor Spaces is not funded by anyone. For someone who doesn't know what Actor Spaces is, how would you define it?
It's been the most difficult thing to do, to define Actor Spaces. But in a nutshell, Actor Spaces is a digital platform really dedicated to celebrate actors, to embrace actors, acknowledge actors, and most importantly, document actors. Our South African archive is not good when it comes to icons, our own icons.
True.
So for an example, if I want to research a Joe Mafela, there's so many limited information about him on site. So with Actor Spaces, we're trying to enrich that archive,
Amazing.
So, and I mean, that's just one of the pillars of Actor Spaces.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that on your website.
Yes.
You feature a lot of seasoned actors. What I want to find out is, what future do you see for South African film and television in terms of storytelling?
Wow, what a wonderful time to be alive now and be a storyteller. Because the industry has opened up. I think if you are aspiring to it, you see it. We have movies on cinemas, and local movies on cinemas that are doing well internationally. So I think the future for film and TV and theater, it's really bright, So I think if you wanted to be in the industry, I think this is the best time to be in the industry. What we need is just hard-working individuals, young people, when they get into the industry, they should not feel entitled. Learn from people that are there, don't go there like, no, I know what I'm doing. I studied way. It doesn't work like that. So if young people can just humble themselves and learn, and that's why I've got seasonal actors there, because those people will show you what consistency in the industry.
Definitely.
It's not fly by night. It's not once off. Hey, did this.
They worked hard.
They worked hard. So, and that's why they're on our platform. Is because ourselves, we admire those actors because of their hard work, their consistency, what they give to the industry as well. I think that's another element that can help the industry grow. Is that if young people come into the industry, learn to give to the industry, not just come in and take from the industry. And that's what Actor Spaces is. We didn't start Actor Spaces for ourselves. I didn't found Actor Spaces for myself. I was giving to the industry and knowing that one day I'll leave the industry with something.
And now
You
the
understand?
industry is giving back.
The industry is giving back without, so it's amazing. It's always amazing.
I'm actually so glad you spoke about young talent, young people who want to be performers. What advice would you give to young aspiring performers who look up to you and say, if only I could do what he's doing, if only I could be like Ayanda Sithebe?
Yeah.
What advice do you have for them?
Look, Silomake once gave me a very life-changing advice, right? We had a performance, and after that performance, I went to him. I was like, I want to do this. I want to act. And he said, listen, if you want to do this, and you really, really want to do this, and have longevity of doing this, what you need to do is start doing. It doesn't matter where you're doing it.
So simple.
It doesn't matter where you're doing it, whether it's under the table, whether it's in your bedroom, But what doing does is that someone is going to come under the table and look, and they're going to find you doing. And if you're doing great things, they're going to discover you.
I'm getting inspired right now by what you're saying.
You know, so I've carried that for the longest time, you know. So my advice to young people out there is that if you want to do this, do it. It doesn't matter where you're doing it. Don't wait to be on Generations and then feel like I'm doing it. No. It took me over 15 years, 12 years to be where I am today, to be sitting with you now, being interviewed. You understand?
That wasn't happening 3-4 years ago.
No, it wasn't. So it takes what? Doing. Eventually, a SAFTA is going to look and
go,
find you doing.
Who's that?
I didn't go to these people. I didn't go to Stakini because like, hey guys, no, they found us doing. You know,
Okay.
so that's amazing.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I think the golden question that everyone wants to know.
Yes.
Now that you guys are an award-winning magazine, award-winning
Yes.
magazine,
Amazing.
what can we expect from Actor Spaces for the duration of 2018? Not only for the duration of 2018, but moving forward, what can we expect from you guys?
Oh, like, yeah.
A lot.
A lot, especially with Stakinico on board. We're going to be doing amazing things. We're going to be doing screenings under Actor Spaces, which is amazing. We're going to be going bigger with the master classes. You know, Actor Spaces is looking at doing exhibitions. So there's a lot of great things coming up. Actor Spaces TV, like to be like relaunched, and so there's a lot of amazing things really coming up for Actor Spaces. I'm excited about it. You know, I'm so tempted to say that,
But you can't,
yeah,
you
but then
can't.
the businessman in me, the entrepreneur in me says,
Wait
"Hey,
for it,
hey."
wait for it.
Yeah, so yeah, there's amazing things coming up. So actors can be excited, fans of actors can be excited. So yeah, there's great things coming up.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, you guys heard it from the horse's mouth, the award-winning Ayanda Sithebe himself. I personally do not doubt that amazing things are underway. I hope you guys found this interview just as intriguing. My name is, of course, Sithebe Ndlovu. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us here at home at Joburg TV.